Archer, welcome back to the Full Court Press. Chris Paul is back on the LA Clippers after nearly a decade off the team, going to teams like OKC and the Houston Rockets, and then the Phoenix Suns, and then finally ending up back on the LA Clippers. Reminiscent of the Lob City Clipper days and how that fell apart with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin leading the charge. He's back on the team. However, it's a very, very different team. We have James Harden and Kawhi Leonard leading the charge, along with Bradley Beal joining, who is on a much smaller contract than he was previously on the Suns, proving that he is probably not going to be the player that a lot of people anticipated him to be in Phoenix, because his play was kind of subpar, and he also had a lot of injuries. He was bought out and then got a new contract with the Suns at a much smaller deal. And now Chris Paul is back on the team, and it's going to be likely his final season. So the question is, are the Clippers real players in the West? Do they have much of an advantage going in against other teams, pairing all these veteran stars with the kind of young underpinnings that they have? In my opinion, they're not going to be making much noise. I hate to be a negative Nancy, but Chris Paul is much older than he used to be, and Chris Paul is not the player he used to be. And I mean, like, just look at it from a logical standpoint. This is not the same. Like, they don't even have the same lob threats. They have John Collins. They have like Kobe Brown, if whatever. But this Chris Paul team is not going to be your regular Lob City Clippers. It's going to be a very different farewell kind of run from when that first like 6 years of the 2010s that we saw the Clippers with Chris Paul. So I really don't see much of an upward trajectory for this team. I think that they're trying to rely on the ends of multiple stars kind of reign, especially Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, and then just trying to supplement it with a lot of young talent, which probably will not work out. However, it is really fun to see Chris Paul back in a Clippers uniform, and I'm excited to see if he actually can prove us wrong and kind of elevate the Clippers past what they used to be. Obviously, they made some noise against the Nuggets and got first rounded by the Nuggets, but they did put up a really good fight in one of probably the best playoff series, maybe even better than the finals that we actually saw. So this Clipper team is kind of on par with what they had. Obviously, losing a guy like Norman Powell is huge, but then you gain two people who are once considered superstars, so you're now asking yourself, can they rekindle the energy that they once had? And the answer will probably be no. And that's been all for the Full Court Press. Chris Paul is back, and we'll see if the nostalgia holds up.